welcome back to the Girls Are Investors podcast. And today we're talking about our amazing Gain University Investment Challenge, which ran for the very first time in 2025. And it is back this year. And I'm not on my own today. We're joined by Tamara from Gain, who runs the University Investment Challenge, and Vania, Pearl, Matilda and Mireya, the 2025 winning team from London Business School. So welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. So I guess we'll kick off with a little bit of a rewind. Vanya, why don't you start? When you were looking at taking part, what did you think investment management was before you joined the challenge?
I think all of us had a slightly different interpretation because we've all come from very different backgrounds, from different universities and different internship experiences. Luckily, I had already done a couple of experiences through Gain, and that's kind of what motivated, bringing the team together and entering the stock pitch challenge. So because of Gain, I had a bit of a understanding of investment management through various internships that they had helped organize. And that's kind of what motivated the stock pitch.
And were any of you unsure about taking part in the challenge? Pearl, I'll head that one to you.
Not really, because I feel like the challenge was a really good way to meet new people, brush up on a few skills that we probably never had before, and just presenting in general. So I think overall it was a really good experience, which just helped us with our modeling skills, our presenting skills, meeting people from other universities, meeting Gain partners. So I think just a very good experience overall.
Good, that's what we like to hear. Did any of you have any assumptions about the industry that turned out to be completely untrue once you were on the challenge and what you've reflected on since?
I think that one thing is that you don't really realize how qualitative finance can be until you are actually working on a project and researching a company. I think that for a lot of us, it might seem quite intimidating because you only really notice Excel and the numbers, but actually entering the stock pitch, we realized there was just so much discussion to be had. And there was a lot of creativity involved in the way that we researched, which was also really interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw it to Tamara. Tamara, tell us in a nutshell about the challenge, what it is and what future students can expect.
Great. So the University Investment Challenge has come off the back of our school investment challenge. We've run that for a few years at the school level, and we wanted to offer university students something that was quite similar. So for those that are in the investing world, they'll be very familiar with what a stock pitch challenge is. That's fantastic. If you're not, this is basically what we do. So you come on to 3 online sessions plus a launch session where we go through 3 key skills workshops, and we're looking at data, how to analyze it, what are the financials, what are the non-financials, and you're essentially given a stock, which is a company, and you'll have to kind of run through whether or not you should buy or sell that stock. Now, this wonderful team can go through a little bit more in detail what they've done on this challenge, but basically you go through that whole process. You then write a report, submit a video as well with your team, and afterwards we kind of pick some winners. And if you are lucky enough to come to the live final, that's then down in London, and you present to a whole room full of investment professionals and you kind of give your pitch. That's a very quick rundown of what the challenge is.
For you guys taking part last year, was there ever a moment where you thought, oh gosh, this is not like just a sit back and listen experience, I'm going to have to get really involved in here?
Definitely, I completely think that I personally had a moment that I come from a different background. I don't have a finance background. So for me, it was clearly, there was a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to have to sit down, learn all these new concepts and analysis techniques. And there was, especially on the couple weeks leading up to the deadline, there was a few days where we were under pressure and we had to do in-depth analysis and research. And yeah, it was really an experience where I personally got to learn a lot, but I think we also had to kind of put ourselves out there to do more than what we had expected we would have to do.
Matilda, what was the hardest part about it for you, like building your stock pitch?
I think for me was I didn't have that much experience with financial modeling from before. Like I'd done stock pitches before in my undergrad, but they were quite qualitative, which I really like the qualitative part as well. But some of the modeling stuff was a bit out of new for me. But luckily, some of the other girls on the team had experience with that, which really helped.
And also, you had mentorship as well. It's a really important part of the challenge. What was it like being mentored by somebody in investment management, Pearl?
Honestly, we got really lucky with our mentor. The mentor was super, super helpful. Was ready to hop on a call at any point. Whenever we sent him emails about any questions that we had, the answers that he used to give us were very detailed, and we incorporated most, I think, all of his suggestions into our work, which is why our final report was very holistic, very complete with whatever was required for the stock pitch. So I feel like mentorship was a big addition for us, like into us winning the stock pitch. So I feel like overall the mentor was really supportive, really helpful, and it really helped us challenge our viewpoints and just have a better experience in general.
I just wanted to add also that I think it was very key for us when it came up to doing the live presentation, because we had that mentorship. He kind of prepared us for the kinds of questions we would get from the investment professionals. So it was really helpful also for the actual final live presentation.
And Vania, was there anything that you feel like you learned from having a mentor during the challenge that maybe you wouldn't have learned, through your uni studies or anywhere else? Like, what was the unique part of that for you?
The challenge just continuously to think is what are other people in the market not thinking about, and what's not being priced in. So these are two questions that he continued to really drive through. So really just taking a more independent opinion and not necessarily following what other people are doing.
Yeah. And Tamara, why is that mentorship such a big part of the challenge? You've obviously built it in and baked it in. What does that access mean for students taking part?
So I think it's important to give context that every program we have at Gain, we run all over the UK, which means that we have students that are coming from every piece of the UK and also a lot of international students. And so we want to make sure that we are providing enough resources to support the diversity of all of our programs. And one thing that we do is provide mentorship. And what that really does is make sure that the playing field is even. So for students that are building teams that are all with final year students, fantastic. But some teams that we have are built with students of all different year level of study, different disciplines, and their experience may be really different. And we don't want that to inhibit them to kind of go further. So providing mentorship gives a really great guidance for students to essentially say, this is what we've done, how can we improve it? And it's also gives kind of great exposure to the industries for students to have that mentorship kind of going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really grateful to all our industry volunteers that come forward and mentor on the challenges and all the programs that we run. Something I wanted to ask was, do you feel like you're more interested in investment management careers now than before the challenge, or were you already kind of laser focused in on that direction?
So for me, as I said, I come from an engineering background, very different. So before starting the challenge, I didn't really, I knew about investment management, but I hadn't considered it so much as an option for a career. And definitely after the challenge, after seeing the balance between the quantitative and qualitative, it became more interesting or more a more attractive option for me as a career or as a future career.
And do you guys feel more confident speaking about investment terms now or talking about the markets? How has that changed for any of you?
I feel like it definitely gave me some new angles through which to think about the markets and different investment ideas, which has really helped in both in school and in applications and stuff.
Yeah.
Also really a unique opportunity to be giving a presentation to different industry professionals. So I think that's something that gave us all a bit more confidence, especially because it was the first time for most of us and we got to do that as a group. So I think it was definitely a really good stepping stone into the industry.
Yeah. And Pearl, do you think this has helped or will help with future interviews, applications, any internship? Is it something that is going to help you stand out further down the
Uh,
road?
Definitely, because I feel like for most of us, when we were thinking about investment management, it was more from like an academic perspective, and we could use that perspective to actually apply in the stock pitch. So that is why whenever we have like future interviews coming up, it's really helpful because we can talk about the academic as well as the practical perspective. We can actually tell them, oh, we participated in the stock pitch competition, we built a model from scratch. We built a presentation and we kind of presented it to people who work in the industry, which actually stands out in comparison to our peers who are applying for similar kind of roles.
Yeah. And you can put that you won as well. You didn't just do all that. You won. Tamara, so what, beyond the challenge in terms of game, what opportunities come after the University Investment Challenge if somebody's thinking, I might do that this year, but then what?
I think there's two things to answer this, and I want to just pose this as a question to the students as well really quickly, because I think what is quite unique about this challenge, and especially for your team, is that you didn't actually all know each other before the challenge. So what's really quite fantastic is you've now formed this friendship, has kind of supported each other in the different ways that you're navigating the rest of your university career and then also further. And I think one thing that this challenge really obviously provides is a network, and whether that's within your team or outside of that, you've clearly shown that you've been able to build that. So I just wanted to quickly pose that as a kind of question. Was there anything that this challenge supported in building that network? And then I can answer the second part of that question.
Yeah, I think it did help build our network. We met some we met people from a range of different asset managers. There was Brown Advisory, which was obviously a hedge fund. Then we met people from Troy Asset Management, from UBS Asset Management, and all of them have kind of different strategies. So it was really nice to talk to people who come from different careers within investment management, something that maybe we would have never known before, because someone would work in product, someone would work in equity research. So it was just nice to network with people who have different perspectives about strategies, about roles, and maybe catching up with them over coffee later on, because I think just last month we had a lunch with JP Morgan, and even that was really nice because I think there were six professionals from JP Morgan who were having lunch with us, and each of them had a different role, and it was just nice to hear different perspectives.
And I'm glad you did mention some of our partner firms, because that's one of the second parts of this question. There's so many different ways that you can get involved with GAIN, whether you're a first year student and you've just kind of come on and decided to sign on to this challenge. You can sign up to our GIAP program, and that is essentially a spring week program where we take you through technical and soft skills training, and then 2 insight days where you do mini stock pitches like this team has done today. We also have our internship program, which some of you have actually done before. And the internship program, essentially, we work as the median between the partner firms that you've just spoken about and students, and we create a really supportive internship where you apply through us, we match you with these firms, and then you come back to us and do some training, and once again get that alluded to mentor, which we like to have in all of our programs. If you don't want to take part in one of those, we have a multitude of other ways that we work with universities, and that's either working with university careers teams or societies. So if you're listening to this and you're a little bit unsure about what this program is, but you are interested in finding out a little bit more, you can come and talk to me, and we can talk about creating a society partnership that gets some of these investment professionals in front of you. It can talk to you about what industry is, and you can kind of decide from there as well.
I wanted to do something a little bit fun, so I'll pick one of you at random. Matilda, we'll go with you. It's quick fire, true or false about the University Investment Challenge, okay? You need to study finance to apply.
False.
It's really intimidating.
False.
You've got to be an extrovert.
False.
You need to be amazing at maths.
False.
And you need to have previous investing experience.
False.
You see? So, to anybody listening out there who's thinking, I might not be experienced enough, I don't study finance, whatever's holding you back, We would really welcome your applications for the 2026 University Investment Challenge. And is there anything that you guys would say to somebody who's still on the fence?
I think it's an amazing opportunity to learn and also just to make new friends who have other experience, learn from them, learn from the sessions with Gain and everything. It's just there's almost no threshold to joining. So just go for it.
And Tamara, when does recruitment open this year?
So we currently have expressions of interest open on our website. So please head there and you can kind of sign up. We will open officially in 1st of April. So we'll be open for a fair few months before you finish off for your summer term. And we'll be open and we'll kind of be looking at your applications. Are there any tips and tricks that you want to give to students who are looking to apply when forming a team? Because obviously all of you didn't know each other before. And for anyone listening, you do have to form the team and apply as a team already instead of having Gain match you with people. So yeah, do you have any tips for creating a winning team?
One thing I would say that even if you don't know the people who you're joining with, just go for it anyways. As you said, Tamara, we didn't know each other and, it's still turned out great. So definitely don't be deterred because you haven't already formed a relationship with them. And in our case, we're all in the same course, but I think it would also be a great opportunity to join with people from different courses because we happen to have different strengths. So when we came together, that created a stronger presentation. So yeah, we meet people from different backgrounds and different personalities together. I think that would make it a strong sausage.
I think our core message is apply. You honestly won't regret it. If you're studying at university or female or non-binary and you're looking at potentially a career in the investment management industry, this is a fantastic experience. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today and congratulations on being our 2025 winners. All the details of the 2026 Gain University Investment Challenge are in the show notes and we will see you next time.